What's up, Starcraft fans? Today we're doing the tier list for Operation Cooperation or Cooperation on Lock and Load. Brian, let's hear the map.
Lock and Load is the map where we have to capture 5 specific points on the map called locks. To capture a lock, both players need to have a unit standing on the lock simultaneously for 20 seconds, uncontested by the enemy, to turn it green. If the enemy stands on a lock uncontested for 10 seconds, it turns red and starts a timer bar that ticks as long as it remains uncontested, and fills faster the more uncontested locks he has. If the bar reaches full, we lose. Propagators spawn from enemy buildings. Anything they touch instantly dies and becomes copies of themselves. Half of all enemy bases, waves, and propagators are immune to your forces. The other half are immune to your ally.
Oh yes, so we have Herman and Eviling in the call today. How are you guys?
Recuperating.
Pretty good.
Alright. Herman, how will we rank the commanders this week?
So apparently there's Propagator and Polarity. So unfortunately, Propagators do have Polarity on. So for each Propagator, 2 players are gonna fight the poops, and also they need to push forward simultaneously because of the polarity, which is pretty bad.
Yes.
So commanders who have great crowd control and who can support your ally, either like healing or like buffing them, will be in high tier for this week. Also because this map is lock and load, so propagators will spawn like 4 after like 18 minutes, like 18:30. So you want to end this map fastly. Like, just don't care about the bonus piece.
Well, sometimes that is not within your control if your ally really wants to do the bonus.
Allies don't come to capture the lock. So commander who can teleport your ally will be a little bit better, I would say. Yeah.
Yes. How about you, Eviling?
Pretty much all good points. End the map quick, or else it's pretty much lock and load is one of those maps where you're kind of forced to work with your ally, and then with polarity it accentuates it even more. So
yes.
But if you two are on the same page, can do lock and load pretty quickly, this shouldn't be that much of a problem. It's mainly being able to either split your attention with your ally and hit multiple locks, or have something in your kit that allows you to instantly support your ally if you just look at where they are.
All right, let's begin.
I want to add one more thing. So, like for the props that spawns directly, they will have polarity, right? But the poops that are transformed, like if a propagator like eats one of your units, that propagator doesn't have polarity on. So
yes,
both players can argue that.
Yes, so this is very important. Polarity only applies to poops that spawn from buildings. When a poop deletes one of your units and converts into another poop, that poop will not have polarity. So both commanders can go for it. Let's begin. Abathur, where do we have him?
Abathur I have at A to B. Abathur comes out with Toxic Nest, which poops just, if you can line up your Toxic Nest correctly, you should be able to deal with the first poop if it's yours. If it's not yours, you can at least CC it with the slow and then help your ally out with kind of taking it down. But it's going to be kind of a grind for Abathur to get that early biomass, because again, polarity is a problem. So you can't really farm that quick Brutalist unless your allies on the same page. So A to B, once he gets his Brutalist up, he should be able to move around and bounce around the map pretty quickly. If there is a poop that's coming at your ally, you can deep tunnel your Brutalist to that position, but do not get within melee range. Just use the symbiote to whittle down the poop and just play ring around the posy until the poop dies.
All right. A to B. How about you, Herman?
A
I would give Abathur B tier for this week just because of
B-tier.
the polarity. It's really annoying because you cannot really farm early biomass. I mean, maybe you can, but you can only farm like half or maybe less than a half. Like depends on your luck. And I want to say that whenever you use the Brutalist to try to kill a poop, you want to keep using hold position key, like hold it, like do not A move. If you A move, Brutalist will just melee range and become melee range and get eaten by the poops.
All right.
And nothing. I don't think I have anything else to add. B tier.
I do have a lot to add, as it turns out. So the way I rank these commanders,
Viper can drag friendly units. Yeah.
Yes, but aside from that, how I rank these commanders is this mutation. There are 4 jobs. The first job is destroy the Propagators. Second job is stall your allies' Propagators. Third job is have mobility, so ping pong around the map depending on where your ally is, where you want to push, where you need to defend. And the fourth job is stall polarity. So if you're good at one of these jobs, you are D tier. If you're good at 2 of these jobs, you're C tier. If you're good at 3 of these jobs, you're B tier. If you're good at all 4, you're A tier. If you excel at all 4, you're S tier. So Abathur has Vipers, which are good for both stalling poops and stalling polarity. Abathur has Toxic Nests, amazing for polarity, or amazing for Propagators. Abathur has Deep Tunnel, great for mobility. I gave him an A, but that's how I rated them. Are you guys gonna agree with B? Because I'm okay with B.
I mean, I think we're doing like a checklist for every commander if we do it in this way.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. That's exactly how I rated the commanders.
Because the thing, like the Viper thing, like I was thought about is that Viper can only like flying claw the ground units. But I mean, Propagators are ground units, so that's pretty good. And I want to add that you want to have some roach in your army because the roach basic attack
will slow down the poops. Yes.
Yeah, and slow down the poop as well. So and also when poop explode, it can also slow down the movement speed.
I just find it
to add.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to add that it's not just slowing down the poops; it's also slowing down anything that's polarized. So it reduces damage. I mean, Abathur has good sustain, just due to Roach's slow. If he gets out Devours for air, it essentially mitigates the damage incoming from air. All the symbiotes, the shield from the symbiotes allows them for more sustain. So he can stall and just kind of is like, ally, please get here, and worst case is use the Viper to yank your ally over.
All right. So are we gonna settle on B tier?
Because I think the biggest problem is still about the biomass. Let's say you allergic.
I personally don't have an issue with biomass because you don't really need to have the Brutalist Scout right away. It's not Void Rifts. You can just wait for the first wave, wait for your ally to come and deal with his half, and then you'll get your Brutalisk. But yeah, for me that's not so much of an issue. The first Brutalisk.
I think for the level that we play at, A is suitable for Abathur, but his kit is not it's not super straightforward. So, like for your average players or less than average, then I would say B is more suitable.
All right. So we're settling on B then.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that there would inevitably be some guys in the comment section who will say that, wait, Abathur is A tier for aggressive recruitment with harder Propagators, and it's harder to get your biomass because everything is cloaked. But the reason we will ultimately settle on B, a lower tier for Abathur on this mutation, is because ultimately I was consistent. I gave him A last time this poops rolled around. I still give him an A, but Herman and Eviling are not here. Well, I believe when we did aggressive recruitment, it was Stixbender and Tutu, and we all agree with A. But Herman and Eviling are different guys, so they have it Abathur and B, and usually I just defer to whoever my guests are, and they have Abathur and B, so we'll stick him in B. No prestige required, right? Any prestige will work.
I think P0 will be the best. P0.
I would suggest P2 since you get more mobility with your roaches and everything in between.
P2, your Viper will be more expensive, right? Your Viper.
Yeah, but Viper will be more expensive, but if you're making a whole bunch of roaches that can deep tunnel around for reactionary purposes, you still can afford a Viper. You only need maybe 2-3 Vipers at most.
2-3 Vipers.
Makes sense. Yeah. I think P2 is...
I guess
maybe P2.
If you have 2 or 3 Vipers, you can only ever be on one front. Unless you just deep tunnel your Brutalisk separately to help your ally with fire or something. I'm okay with either no prestige or second prestige. I would lean a little bit more towards no prestige, because the slight additional mobility afforded roaches, I don't think is much more impactful in this case, because you want to end the map early, which means you don't want to stick around and get enough gas for a big gas heavy army. So I think that I'd rather have no prestige and have the ultimate evolutions do most of the work. Maybe get a couple of Vipers, but I think if you want to use the second prestige, tunneling horror, that's also fine. You just want to get maybe you want to skip your Leviathans. No, definitely not. You still want to get your Leviathans and then get Vipers. But you'll be a little more late game heavy, which is fine if you're in the solo queue, because people in the solo queue tend to drag their feet when doing this map. So yeah, no prestige or second prestige both work, I think. Anything else to add?
Not really.
Oh, by the way, something else I forgot to add at the beginning. Every commander can deal with the first poop with Polarity. Every single commander can do that. A, because it's very slow, you can actually just outrun it, and B, the first poop hits your base around 4 minutes. There are no enemy units nearby yet. So what you can do is select a worker and have it patrol in like a hexagon near the ramp or near your expansion, and the propagator will just endlessly chase that worker, and you can keep pinging that propagator if it has polarity to your ally until your ally is actually ready to deal with it, or until you are attacked by the enemy wave. So either way, all commanders have this option for the first, maybe even second propagator. Just patrol a worker around in a hexagon near the expansion or the ramp, and hope that the propagator doesn't change targets or you don't stray too close to enemy base. So there we go. Okay, B for Abathur. Second prestige or no prestige should work either way. Let's move on. Alarak, where do we have him?
So Alarak actually have good crowd control. Destruction wave can also push back Propagators. So that's pretty good, I would say. But unfortunately, you only have one Alarak. I mean, it's your hero unit, so you only have one. I think I would suggest just mass Wrath Walkers, or maybe you can mass Stalkers, because what's that called? Like Stalkers.
Slayers.
Yes. Yeah, Slayers. Slayers. Like you can also mass Slayers, because like they're cheaper than Wrathwalker, and they're that you can make them really fast, and you want to try to end the map fast, so both can work, either Slayers or Wrathwalkers. I think you still want to use P3 because Mothership is pretty strong hero unit in early game. Like you can just have it in like 4 minutes, and you can push with Alarak and Mothership, as well as in Power B. Yeah.
Letter.
So I would say he is an A tier for this week.
Okay. How about you, Eviling?
I have Alarak from B to C. He has the sustain to do it. You give Alarak a bunch of supplicants, and he can just do whatever he wants until the supplicant train runs out. Mothership is incredibly durable, as long as it doesn't get pooped. Alarak has crowd control for the poop. Destruction wave can force the poop away, and you can just keep on doing that. The main thing, if you're going to try to delay a non-polarity or a poop that's not polarized for you, using destruction wave to shove it away, make sure Alarak doesn't do his little charge at it. He has his deadly charge, and then he has a regular attack charge. You just got to make sure he doesn't do that and say kiss the poop and turn into a poop himself.
Yes.
So, prestige 3.
All right. So I had Alarak in D because I thought he was just pretty good at dealing with the poops themselves. But as for crowd control, pretty much his only crowd control against poops is waving his arms at the poop and making it not close in so much. As for mobility, I don't think he's that mobile personally, but if you guys are okay with it, I can move him up to C. I would move up to C because like half a point for mobility, half because of the mothership, and half a point for poop crowd control. I would move him up to C.
He does have another skill for poop control, not just destruction wave, which is
force field.
Exactly.
I wouldn't count on that. It's very skill intensive, and at most only delays the poops. But you're right, it does work. But the thing for me is, it doesn't matter how I rate him. Usually, I just defer to you guys. The problem for me is Herman has him A, and Evelyn has him B to C. So you guys need to agree on where you'll put him.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So I think maybe he is not as good as Abathur, so probably
he's nowhere near as good as Abathur.
yeah. So he is too high for 8 here. Because
Abathur is speed, by the way.
If you don't use force field well, like this construction wave is your only crowd control, and Wrathwalker, luckily they don't automatically shoot polarity units, so that's why I suggest using Wrathwalkers. Yeah.
Wrathwalkers are good. I'm not disputing the Wrathwalkers.
Yeah.
I'm disputing the crowd control, the mobility, and
mobility is just your mothership. Like it's 1 minute cooldown for teleportation.
Yeah, but when both waves hit at the same time, starting like 11 minutes, you need to have a lot of mobility because you'll need to ping pong wave 1, wave 2, and then poop on the left, then poops on the right. And between that, you don't have enough cooldown on them, or you don't have enough charges on cooldown or on the teleport to answer all of them, unless you split your army.
Yeah, I mean, if I were playing Alarak, I would just say put 2 Wrathwalker at my base just for defending poops.
Assuming it's your poop. What if it's your ally's poop and Alarak is elsewhere?
I'll just hide it and hope my ally come
that's
yeah.
All right. So what do you rank that?
I disagree with the Wrathwalker. That's going to take way too much resources to get up to that. And the thing is, we're neglecting polarity is a thing.
Yes.
When units see your Wrathwalkers and know that they're invincible, they will latch onto those Wrathwalkers hard.
Yes.
That's true.
Slayers makes I like your idea of Slayers a lot better because they're a lot more durable. And if you are in a remote area and you need to respond to somewhere else where your ally is, if you've had enough foresight to put a pylon, you warp in a bunch of Slayers and
overcharge
and work it remotely. Overcharge it too. Yes.
So ultimately, we need to agree on where to put Alarak. Where do we have him?
I would say B, bottom B or top C.
I'm more agreeable with top of C.
Top of C. Same. Yeah, let's just put him top of C first and continue. Yeah.
Sure.
C it is.
3rd prestige, by the way. Arcturus, what do we have?
Oh, yes, sir.
Arcturus I have from B to C. I heavily would recommend P1 because if you can get enough ESOs up just to have a reliable source of contaminated strike, you can keep on fearing things that are not polarized for you, and that can help buy a lot of time for your ally to deal with whatever's troubling. Now, as for the poops, get get the Aegis guards and get that their suppression shells. That will definitely help slow poops down significantly for you to deal with. If they're not polarized for you, then you got problems.
All right, letter. Oh,
I said B to C.
B to C. Okay, how about you, Herman?
I think Arcturus is like a B tier for this week, because it takes time. It takes a lot of time to set up the ESOs, and you cannot. I think you don't want to cross your ally that well, so you don't want to build your Earth Splitter in the middle lock, because like poops can attack your ESOs from like bottom of middle lock and the top of middle lock.
If they're
you want
polarized,
to build them as like natural, and they also have polarity, so
so you
build
can't
them
just stop the poops on your
natural
own.
basis.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
and
the bottom line of this is, I think we all have them in B, and the wave. Yes, you were about to mention that you can contaminate strike them, but it's not. Yeah, you can't get them early enough for the 8-minute wave. But I think the bottom line is we all have them in B, so let's put it in B. I'm actually thinking that the third prestige, Merchant of Death, might be a bit better, because you can have more firepower and to fight the enemy waves. But you can still use Earth Splitters. It's just, you are less reliant on them. What do you guys think?
I mean, like usually for Mask versus Propagator is like bunker plus the blue guns. Like you have like two bunkers with full of
assuming it's
blue
yours
guns troopers. Yeah. So, but there is polarity. So
yes,
like if you see a poops that is not yours, and you need to like evacuate one of your troopers and to try to kite the poops and wait your ally coming, right? That's what I'm like thinking.
That's what that's why I don't actually recommend bunkers for the poops. You need.
So what do we use? Like we use tanks, auto attack and stun.
Aegis guard plus the infantry. It will slow it down, and if it's polarized, you can just use your guys to bait them to the allies' army, so your ally can fight them. I don't think having like static defense.
So we don't use bunkers. We use like armies plus ESO.
I mean, you can use bunkers. It will work, but you need to be on top of. You need to be on top of it, seeing it before it's too close. The thing is, having a bunker and having a polarized poop means you'll have to salvage the bunker and hope that the poop doesn't eat the bunker before it's salvaged. It's like 2 extra clicks, which could be the difference between
micro intensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, we all agree with B, so let's put it in B. Artanis, where do we have him?
So Artanis versus Propagator is like use dragoons, but I mean Propagator is not armored unit, right? It's only heroic unit, like the attack.
Yes.
So the dragoon will kill it like really slow.
Yes.
But dragoon is like the early units for Artanis, and I mean just the efficiency of killing poops is pretty slow. So you are like if you don't, I think you want to upgrade the range upgrade for dragoon.
I would mix firstly, a bunch of mortals.
Yeah. And then you upgrade the like shield regeneration.
Yeah.
But Artanis is pretty. I think he is pretty good versus Polarity because of Guardian Shield, and also because of the Shield Overcharge.
So you don't want to use third prestige?
I mean, third prestige is good on this map, but I think it depends on the player, like what he thinks. If he wants to help your like his ally more, maybe he can use P0 so that like your ally also have Guardian Shield. But if you want to be the carry, you probably want to use P3, because P3 is a big Archon. You just drop them in the middle of a base, and they just kill the. I think they just kill the thing that you can kill. Yeah.
All right.
And then your shield overcharge will be like 25 energy and 90-second cooldown. So I think our chances for this week can be a C tier.
Okay.
Because he just killed the poops really slow. So
how about you, Eveling?
I have Artanis from A to B. I agree Guardian Shell will be good for you and your ally because of Polarity. I would actually recommend Prestige number 2. I would avoid number 3 because Archon dudes can get pooped. You do it wrong, and yeah, that's pretty much just wasted energy. Whereas it's lock and load. It should be a short map. If you put in at least 23 points into your initial Spiridian energy, you're gonna have enough to do warp-ins throughout the map, and you should be able. It's going to cut it a little close, but you gotta be smart about how you use that power field. But it can happen, and furthermore, get observers out. Put them in spots where poops can't get to, like unpathable terrain. If you get it just right over the lock, right in the middle of the lock, the poop can't reach it. So that gives you vision, and you can respond to each lock pretty quickly, especially if your ally is there or within the vicinity.
I actually disagree with it. I don't think you can do that well here, especially with Polarity, because when you push with Dragoons, they're not that tanky, especially when you're using the second prestige. The second prestige is fine if your Dragoons are always in the same spot, and you only need to teleport like once every like 2 minutes, but you need to teleport a lot of times on this map, and I don't think you'll have enough energy for it. Maybe if the teleport, maybe the power field costs like 10 energy, and like 10-second cooldown, yes, but I don't think you'll have enough energy for this. And I don't think your Dragoons will be enough, especially if you end the map fast. Can you afford enough Dragoons?
Depends on how much Dragoons you intend to make. Usually that's the only thing I make with P2, or not the only thing I would make. I would be making Dragoons, and then if I have enough income, then I'll be adding Tempest into that.
And another thing here is
Immortal plus, I don't know.
And another thing I would add is Shield Overcharge and Guardian Shell are not crowd control. They will only stall Polarity at best. They will not prevent anyone from doing damage. They will just stall out. The enemies can still whack out your other units or whack your allies' units. I'm not sure about A or B, to be honest. I'm actually leaning more towards C.
B is too high.
B is too. Yeah, I don't think he's anywhere near Abathur or Arcturus' level. Like, no way. There's no way he's near Abathur or Arcturus' level. C at highest.
I think, like, just like for early poops, like if you only have like 3 Dragoon, you need to kite it for like 30 seconds, right? Like it's a lot of macro, a lot of micro, and you don't want to make a mistake. So after your micro, you probably have like 700 mineral floating in your bench.
Yeah. Yeah. I had him in D, but I'm okay with putting him up at C. But I don't think. I remember how I rate the commanders. I think he's fine against poops. He's not fine against stalling allies' poops. He's not fine at ping-ponging back and forth because he'll run out of energy, and he's definitely not fine at stalling Polarity because especially if you're using the second prestige, you're already using the energy of your power field to move around the map. What more energy will you have for Shield Overcharge? None. Right? Am I crazy here?
Depends on how you do it.
Do you have a replay? Did you do it with Artanis?
Once the week rolls around, I'll have a replay.
Huh. Are you going to insist on A to B?
I'm not gonna insist. I mean, I'm okay with C, but D.
Yeah, like I said, I'm willing to concede C. Like I had him in D, but I'm okay with C. I just don't see him anywhere near Arcturus or Abathur for this week, especially as I had Abathur in A.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the Abathur remark. Arcturus, little iffy. Artanis is, in my opinion, would be easier to do micro. Arcturus's micro is a lot more complicated to pull off.
That's true. I agree with that. I see him closer to Alarak though than Arcturus. Yes. So
Yeah,
Are we settled on B?
That's
C,
definitely fair.
All right,
That's definitely fair.
let's put him in C. So I would actually not recommend the second prestige. Do you insist on the second prestige though, Evoling?
Third prestige. If you are using mostly overcharge and limiting the amount of times that you're using orbital strike, then yeah, I would say number 3 is third prestige is definitely viable.
All right, let's move on. Dahaka, where do we have him?
Dahaka. The nice thing about Dahaka is his pack leaders are not targetable by poops. So P2, Dahaka A to B.
Okay. How about you, Herman?
I think Dahaka is actually pretty good. Like, poops don't eat your pack leaders. I mean only the pack leaders, not like the locust or the like zerglings or
Hydras
or
and
hyperlist.
Levic.
Yeah. And just I think you just need to, like, whenever you use your greater primal worm, you just want to deep tunnel them back to their base if you want to use them. But I think I would suggest using the for the second mastery. I suggest the duration for pack leader. I would suggest that.
Okay. So letter.
And yeah, I said it's A. He is pretty good. And
okay.
Yeah, like if you see a pops that you can attack, you just eat it, like devour it. Yeah.
That will work against polarized poops. I don't think he's A personally. I had him in B, but if both of you guys agree with A, I'll put him in A. All right.
I just think that if you like if you see like a base or like let's just say it's like the east lock, like you just put a mower and
yes,
you see
Mervar will clear his half. Mervar will be very effective in clearing his half.
Does his job, and you just want to make sure there's not a propagator coming. And if there is, you probably just want to retreat a little bit. But I mean, Morvar has the I think he has the same the claw like the viper. So
yes,
yeah.
My only reason I didn't have Abathur in A is or the Hawk in A is because when the poop arrives at your expansion and it's not your poop, it's polarized. You're kind of at the mercy of your ally here. I had him in B, but if both of you guys are willing to go on A, I'll put him in A. I won't assist.
What about you, Evening? Like I think I said a lot. So what about you, Evening?
I would be more leaning more towards B. I said A to B, but leaning more towards B because the Haka doesn't have anything to do the ally get over here or help sustain ally type of thing. Kind of. So he can spawn a pack leader, try to delay poop with Morvar a little bit, but you can't really use Dakran or Glevic to really delay much.
Well, Dakran can delay much, but not not forever. But well, if you don't use the second prestige, you can have Mervar on offense and Dakran on stalling. I guess that can work. Dakran's pretty tanky.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, let's say a non-polarized poop for you. You spawn Dakran. What does? I mean, it will.
If it's a non-polarized poop, you can probably just use a worm or just the Haka or even Zweihaga if you want that.
Fair enough. Yeah, just wiggle them around and play chase. Okay.
Yes. So A or B?
But I'm still leaning toward B.
I'm also kind of leaning toward B.
I think he can be like top of B. Like I think he is better than Abathur a lot.
Yeah. I disagree, but I'm okay with top of B. I'll just put him in B for now.
I mean, because this map is lock and load. If we change another map, I would suggest P1 more because P1 you can bump your ally. Yeah. But this is lock and load, so you want to end fastly. So
all right.
P2 is
well, better. We can't really do the end it faster thing, especially if you have a commander who can't say ally get over here. We can't use the end the map fast. We can't assume that you have a cooperative ally in the solo queue. Anyway, let's move on. Phoenix.
They always focus on this. Phoenix. Well, Phoenix versus poop usually I would think of Warbringer. Because your auto attack can slow, and you also have the ability to just, it's like one shot if you're using P2 if you have enough pellet size. I think you still want to use P2 here, and you just like keep feeding stuff. Keep feeding your champions, and because
I thought you
they
were
will
saying
auto
feeding
attack.
the poops. You do not want to feed the
No,
poops.
no, I mean feeding the champion, but not like auto attack on the poops. Okay, so you don't want your Caldalis to auto attack the poops. So you just like keep feeding your champions to attack the enemy base, and your dragoon can deal with your dragoon suits can deal with the propagator in early game as well. Yeah, not only the warbringer. So
All right.
I think Phoenix can be like a B tier. He also have guard control and can also teleport you out.
Yes,
With
the
your
Arbiter suit can use stasis. All right.
Yes.
How about you,
So I
Evelyn?
would suggest B tier. Yes.
Phoenix for me, I have from SA. I recommend P1 because Arbiter suit can really come out pretty often. You can stasis the poop. You can stasis non-polarized units. He has conservators, and P1 Arbiter allows a lot of mobility for Phoenix. A lot of mobility. P2, not so much.
So your solution to fighting the Propagators is Warbringer and other champions. And if it's
would be Tal'Darin and Warbringer.
If it's polarized, you just use the stasis from the Arbiter suit.
You just sling out stasis and bring
can
up conservators.
Phoenix say, "Ally, get over here"?
Yes. Big time.
Okay. What are you okay with S? Are you okay with S? Herman?
Tier. Wait, I never think of S tier. I mean, A tier is fine for me, but let me think why he can be S tier. So like Phoenix like fulfills all the checklists. Like he can do anything.
Yeah, on my checklist, he can deal with the poops.
Yeah.
Yes. He can stall enemy poops. Yes. He can move back and forth quickly. Yes, especially if you use the first prestige. He can stall enemy. Maybe that's where I would kind of. He doesn't have infinite energy to stasis.
Yeah. I was considering about energy as well. Like if you keep using your arbiter, you cannot regenerate your energy.
For P1, you got to remember all his suits while away, they regen a lot faster. So if you put at least 22 or more points into the offline energy regen, it will. You can sling out a lot of stuff.
Yes, you can sling a lot, but
15 minutes.
Not that much.
Yeah, don't be callous with it, but you can do it pretty liberally.
I think yes, he can do all that, but I still would not put him in S because S would trivialize the mutation. Maybe we can agree with A.
A sounds fine.
All right. First prestige. We need the first prestige because the key to all this is your arbiter suit. Do not lose your arbiter suit. If you're a guy, I would actually put A star. Let's put an A star because if you lose your arbiter suit, it's over.
Screwed.
You're screwed. Like you cannot. Here's the asterisk part. You cannot lose your arbiter suit. Period. End of conversation.
And you can lose the Predator suit. That's fine.
Yeah, you can.
Maybe not the Dragoon suit. Dragoon suit is kind of useful, but no, don't lose that arbiter.
All right, let's move on. Han and Horner, where do I have him?
Han and Horner, the usual D to E. They have no sustain. Prestige. Right. All of them have no sustain.
How about you, Herman?
Yeah, Han Horner is pretty bad for this beat. I mean, dealing with the Polarity, you can use like strike fighters if they're a ground unit, and the Magmines can be triggered with non-polarized unit. I think, right?
Yes.
For the Magmines, I know Widow Mines is fine with.
Wait, I think that's been fixed by Tangor Craft. I think the Magmines no longer trigger on polarized units. if I recall. Either way, it's not a big deal. He's still D.
That is.
He's
that
like
last
D.
time that Polarity rode on, I think it's on Temple to Pass. That was fixed.
Do we agree on D or E?
I
think he's
we
that
just
bad. He can do something.
Like the reason why I didn't put Handhold on E is that they still have the Hellion.
The Hellions are pretty good against the poops.
Yeah, they can slow down the poops. Like
we have the same reason. I put him in D also because of Hellions. So all right, let's put him in D. First prestige, definitely first prestige. Your only chance. Karax, where do we have him?
So Karax is, I think he's actually pretty bad against Polarity. He has auto repair like for you and for your ally, which is pretty good.
In the entire race.
I mean, I think you probably want like an army to deal with like Propagators and to push forward. You don't really trust your. I mean, you can build like 5 monoliths at both of your bases to deal with the poops that you can target that comes to your base, but the poops outside, you gotta help your ally. Like, I mean, you cannot like randomly build monoliths like without enough number. So you should have like enough army. I think I would suggest maybe Immortals, because Immortals,
the shadow cannon,
like 2 shots. I think 2 shots or 3. I forget. Like I think it's 2 shots. You can kill the poops.
Yeah, but you can always just use the Solar Lance.
Well, especially but it's like it's like 30 energy and 1 minute cooldown for P3. And if you're not using P3, if you're using P2, it's like 2 minute cooldown, 50 energy. Yeah.
All right. So letter.
And, I think Karax is like a B tier. Also, don't forget to upgrade the stun upgrade so that you can have some crowd control. Yeah.
All right. How about Eviling?
I have Karax from S to A. Pretty much, he has the ability to just rain space lasers down if ally is has a poop incoming that's polarized for you, so you can react anywhere on the map that has vision. In terms of stalling, once you get the reconstruction for your sentinels, they become very tanky. The main thing is just make sure to keep them away from the poops. If the poop starts coming toward you, run them away, but just try to maintain vision, and then as they're running away, space laser the thing down.
I disagree with S-A.
Yeah, it's a very, very easy way or safe way to deal with the poop. There's no risk. You're not committing a unit to it.
How does he deal with the allies' poop? He has no means of ally get over here.
Yeah, there is no ally get over here. It's just run
that
away.
Automatically puts him out of S.
Fair enough. Yeah, that does. I agree.
His static defense can only hold on for so long against the Polarity. It's like Artanis with Garden Shell and Shield Overcharge. You can only delay them for so long. I don't think it's that good. I
wouldn't be making any static defense. I'll just go straight for get your sentinels and get the reconstruction out.
Just let them stand there and take damage.
Let them stand there and take damage, yeah, until the ally comes over and
do they either have that or health to straight up tank at halves of attack waves.
If you get at least maybe 4 or 5 of them, yeah, they have a good amount of health that. It's just, and the thing is, when they're rebuilt, so after they die once, as they're rebuilding, that's just like they're not taking any damage whatsoever. So one goes down, then the focus shifts to another one. That one goes down.
Well, be that as it may, I still don't think he's on the same level as Fenix, just because he has no ally get over here to deal with the ally Propagator.
Yeah. I agree with that. So yeah, a little presumptuous with S to A, but I still think he's pretty high with P3 because
so maybe high B or something, or very low A, high B. All right.
Well, I mean, with that reasoning, yeah, instead of S to A, I'm moving mines to A to B, but yeah.
All right, let's put him in B. Prestige, depending on, I think you want to use the second one here, because you want the sentinel. If you're gonna tank with sentinels, you need cheap sentinels. And you're going to need Immortals with the Shadow Cannon for offense, and still want a bit of Solar Lance, that good Solar Lance action. So Yeah, B seems like a pretty good compromise. And also,
Yes.
the observer sieging over unpathable terrain very good against Propagators because they can kind of get stuck sometimes.
I just want to add that if you're using P2, you need to leave something in your base. I think, like let's say, like
you cannot F2.
Yeah,
definitely.
You need to stay something in your base
100%.
because you don't have monos. Yeah.